With so many options, why choose Arizona State University?
For me, the only online option was ASU because of the quality. Their faculty was really involved with their students and care about your personal journey. The dedication to my personal development from my professors, that's been extremely valuable to me.
Earn your degree from the nation's most innovative university. Online. That's a degree better. Explore more than 350 plus undergraduate, graduate, and certificate programs at asuonline.asu.edu.
The history of this episode's brand dates back to 1947. And if you have an absolutely incredible memory, you'll know that was the same year we saw the creation of Spencer's Gifts, Igloo, Reynolds Wrap, and the legendary shoe brand Doc Martens. But what makes this brand interesting is that it would take 36 years before it would resemble anything close to the iconic staple it would become known for. It was a brand not created out of love or passion for the industry, but because of a belief it would be a huge financial success based on the 1980s retail landscape. And it was. Starting off as a humble catalog business with a minimal staff, it would grow into an aspirational lifestyle brand in America and around the world. And while a bankruptcy filing during the COVID pandemic could have meant certain death, aggressive restructuring pulled them out of financial turmoil, and today they find themselves in the midst of a resurgence, even becoming an official partner for the U.S. ski and snowboard teams in the 2026 Winter Olympics. And that's why this week's On Brand is on J.Crew.
We're all jazzed up, nearly having a cow. You want your favorite show and it's on right now. It's on brand.
Welcome to On Brand with Jon and Marisa.
Hi, I'm Jon.
Hi, I'm Marisa.
Oh, J.Crew.
J.Crew.
Oh, Crew. I knew there was something in there. J.Crew, did you have any idea? When'd you figure it out?
So to clarify, this is about J.Crew and not J.Do, the knockoff store in the Eagle Rock Plaza, a mall full of fake stores.
Fake stores. 24-hour fitness? 19-hour fitness. But yeah, they used to have a J.Do there. It's no longer there. But nope, this is about J.Crew. Iconic brand. Aspirational. Why am I doing it? You know, I would say J.Crew... I don't know. I haven't determined if it's on brand or off brand for me. J.Crew for me is like Pottery Barn in the sense that it's like, it's this life that I feel like I've always been aiming for, but I never quite get there. I feel like J.Crew has like, it's only for thin people. Like I'll buy something on sale, even though on sale it's still expensive, but it doesn't look good on me, but I want it to. Like I want to be running around town with a weathered paddle for like my canoe.
Sure.
With my happy dog and my like fuzzy little sweater and my Birks and like look hot with my blonde hairy legs and just be this boy that I could never be.
I feel exactly the same way. And I haven't been in a J.Crew in a while. So my reference point is probably 10-ish years ago. But to me, it's like rich, Hamptons. It's old money. It's like you got your paddle, you got your dog, you got your striped little sailor shirt, you got your monocle, you got your cane.
Nautical.
Oh.
Monocle.
Your Monopoly man.
You got your
cane. Big sun hat. You're on the back of a boat. It's a life that, like, I think now I'm like, I don't want that life.
Wow. See, I still want to live by water, so I don't mind this life.
I mean, if I never set foot on a boat again, I'll be a happy woman.
I mean, I don't need to be in a boat, but I just want to, a sunset.
You can't have that life and not be in a boat.
Sure. I can just have a pier. I love sitting on a pier at sunset.
Sure.
On a lake.
Yes.
I do that when I'm in Ohio at Landon Lake.
Piers are great. J.Crew is very pier. There would be lists going around. I don't know if this is still a thing where you would hear like, in every magazine, every month, somehow they're reprinting the same list. 10 items of clothing every woman needs to own. Here's what it is. Trench coat. Here's what it is. Crisp white button down. You need black trousers. You need loafers.
Pencil skirt.
A pencil skirt. You need a bright red lip. It's like a sunglass. You need, like, it's these 10 things that will basically make you the least interesting person who's ever walked into a room. Can you imagine? So I'm just saying, like, And I think when I was like 25,
one of our listeners right now is putting our lipstick, looking in the mirror, it's bright red, and she just puts it down.
I mean, like, to think like, oh, this is a checklist you have to have before you're like a grown up, which is kind of how I viewed it as a young lady. I think when I was a young lady, I looked at the Victoria's Secret catalog, their clothes, and I looked at the J.Crew catalog, and I was like, when I'm a grown up, I'm going to be so fancy, and this is what I'm going to look like. And I've been in a J.Crew, and you look around, the difference between the catalog and the reality, I feel like is vast.
Yeah.
It's
and I think
vast.
there's a reason for that, and I'll get into that when we start talking about
You go in
that.
the dressing room, you're like, these clothes feel like they feel the same as like Old Navy clothes. Like they don't feel fancy and luxurious.
Well, are you in a J.Crew or are you in a J.Crew factory?
Ooh, I've been in both.
Yeah.
I tried on wedding dresses at J.Crew because I don't know if they still have bridal. They had bridal, and I went there. That was like part of like the fantasy of like, I'm starting my new life. I'm going to be a kept woman. Now it's time to start my J.Crew journey with a J.Crew wedding dress. I ended up not getting a J.Crew wedding dress. I got one for like $100 from like a direct-to-consumer Chinese website. But it was like, they're selling a fantasy. And aren't we all, honey? Aren't we all?
And maybe we do grow out of it. I mean, sure, I feel like I'm less into it now. It was fun this week looking at old 90s J.Crew. I think there's a whole movement because there were all these websites like, are you still craving like 90s J.Crew?
And that is actually what I think I want. I think I want like Martha Stewart in her like pleated khaki shorts and like a boat neck top and like chip and chives in the garden.
But I would think J.Crew would kind of fit into your fisherman wife lifestyle.
It's a little too preppy. It's a little
Preppy
too
was what they were all about.
Polished. Yeah. And I think I've never been like a polo shirt. Actually, this is funny. So my daughter she needed new clothes. And so we were like online looking and she saw a polo shirt and she goes, that is my exact style. A navy blue polo shirt. So she has all these polo shirts coming in the mail. She's going to look like she's working like poolside at a resort.
I mean, I enjoy a polo shirt. Did you ever go through like the Annie Hall phase? Did you wear like a men's
trousers?
tie?
Yeah, I had like a vest and like some khakis. That was very Meg Ryan, You've Got Mail. But my last preppiness was in elementary school. Our school did not have uniforms, but I bought uniforms and wore them anyway. And that was pretty preppy. It was like polo shirt with like a straight kind of jumper and like shorts. Very, very preppy. I guess the East Coast old money fantasy was always there, and I just couldn't. It's like you know yourself the older you get, and it's like, that's not me. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I always joke, I stopped being a vampire when my friend bit my neck until I bled.
Yes.
And I was like, okay, I'm out. And I ran from my backyard to the Gap. So I went straight from being like backyard vampire to my preppy phase.
I feel like J.Crew could almost give me like an identity crisis. Like in the same way, like when I go to Disneyland, I somehow feel like I need to like have like a Lilo and Stitch like sweatshirt or something where I'm like, this is me. This is like, I'm so swept up in it. J.Crew can do that. If I'm in a J.Crew, I'll be like, my entire life is a lie. This is what I need to focus on.
That's interesting. I'm analyzing it more. I didn't really during this week. I'm wondering because I had the same feeling when I was in Banana Republic
That'll
anytime
do it too.
also.
Yeah, real
and
clean.
Banana Republic, I felt like it's like, I'm not this adult.
Sure,
like I
it's
feel like
grown up.
I'm supposed to be like on Wall Street in like a very thin leather belt and an attaché. And J.Crew wasn't that style, but it was also like, I don't know if it was a gay straight thing. Like it feels like a straight store.
J.Crew does?
I think
J.Crew feels gay to me. It's like you get like Bermuda shorts for men with like little tiny seahorses on them.
Yeah, but that's what like rich like frat boys wear. Like that you're not seeing. Oh, gotta go.
I mean, a white party in the Hamptons where it's like a bunch of gay guys.
Listen, I'm telling you,
There's J.Crew.
I associate that style with like
it's like frat. It's like Wall Street.
Yeah,
frat
like
guys.
the guys who are like, I'm gonna retire by the time I'm 30.
Yeah.
I just bagged a job at Chase.
Yeah.
And on the weekends, I wear my
Cool.
little duck shorts
Cool.
and whatever, my
Yeah.
woven belt.
That's them. That's them getting crazy. Is like a sweater with a dachshund on it.
And I was always digging through the sad little, still expensive sale bin.
Sure.
I would get
straight to the sale rack at J.Crew.
I would get the wool slippers. They for a period had really nice wool slippers that I liked. I would get a sock. I'd get maybe like a scarf.
David stole
Accessories.
a pocket square from J.Crew.
I know.
Handkerchief.
I was going to bring that up for your wedding.
Yeah.
Intentional? I couldn't remember if it was intentional.
He bought a suit for, I feel like he ended up returning it because he didn't wear a suit at our wedding. So I think we both had an identity crisis at J.Crew. We were there for bridal and wedding. And then we were like, this isn't us. And we returned it all.
Yeah.
But there was a pocket square in the suit pocket and he kept that and returned the suit on accident, he
and
says.
that pocket square was probably $45.
Yeah, it was
for a tiny little square fabric.
And we were selling like vintage at the time. Like we were digging through piles of garbage to sell on eBay. So I was like, honey, I can find you a pocket square.
Yeah.
It might be a bit stained. It might have a little bit of mustard on the corner. Trim it off. Trim it off.
All of this being said, I still never hated the store. Like, I
No.
liked going in there. I would always wander in.
It's a pleasurable shopping experience. It's clean. The staff is helpful. It's just clean.
The staff is people that I feel like wouldn't be my friend, though. Like, none of the women were like, oh, yeah, maybe we should hang out after you're done shopping.
Which I normally do go to stores to make friends.
Well, you know what I mean, though.
I know what you mean.
I never saw. Uh-oh, I'm peaking. I can feel it. I never saw, last week my volume level apparently got so high, a little bit was clipped out because I have a theater voice. But I've never seen anyone that works at a J.Crew that I felt like was my peer.
It's for aspiration, not camaraderie.
It's women who at some point have dug the middle out of their bagel because they're not eating carbs.
Sure.
We're just on. I'm like, can I have your middle? I'm walking around with a Ziploc bag collecting their middles.
Shoved in your cheeks like a squirrel. I think in a J.Crew is a place where I'll become really self-conscious about how dirty my shoes are and how stained my clothes are. And you know what I mean? Where you're just like, I got to get my life together. I'll pass myself one of those long mirrors and see like a big like avocado stain and like my toenails are poking through the front of my ballet flats. And I'm like, girl.
It's rough.
Let's start at J.Crew Factory and work our way up here.
Gap, I felt comfortable. J.Crew, I didn't.
Gap is more street, more like urban. J.Crew feels, I don't know. It's like a different thing. And I have that same thing too where you're feeling like it feels too mature. Like even though I'm in my mid-30s.
Just about 40. You're like, hi, 40?
Is that you? Surely it can't be. Nobody's home.
Nobody's home.
If I put on like true like high heels, I feel like I'm a kid. I'm like, I'm not old enough to wear high heels. It's how I feel.
When I wear a suit, I feel like I must be going to a funeral. Yes. Like I'm not, I never grew up. I kind of hate it.
You hate that you're so youthful?
Well, I don't know. Like, shouldn't I feel like a man?
Next week you in a suit? I feel like that too. It's like you put on like lipstick. You're like, I'm like a kid, like playing in mommy's makeup. I'm like high heels, you see people in their 20s that just like act like grown-ups. And no, we're kids. We're kids. That's why we're podcasters.
We're pod kids. By the time my parents were my age, they had 5 children. And I'm like, I have 45 totes. Kind of the same thing. All right, well, we'll get into J.Crew. Before we do, we always have to have a little banter. And I didn't know what you wanted to talk about. Did you want to talk about, let's see, I don't know. Not much happened this week. I did go to a secret, one night only Lady Gaga show.
I'm sorry, what?
At the Wiltern. That's where I got this shirt. I guess we could talk about that.
Okay, that sounds pretty interesting. Yes.
I guess we could talk about that.
That's pretty
Apparently,
interesting.
you kind of had an idea. Here's the whole story. Lady Gaga on Monday announces out of nowhere, one night only show in Los Angeles. Tickets are not for sale. If you are able to go, you will get an email with the opportunity to join a lottery to buy a ticket.
Based on what? How are they picking people?
Nobody knows.
What?
One, more than likely, you had to live in L.A., but nobody knows.
So she has your email. Lady Gaga has you in her Rolodex. And she's like, bitch, I'll call you.
Bitch, I'll call you.
Okay, wow. That's
so
fun.
A bunch of emails went out in the beginning of the day. I didn't get one. I wasn't pressed about it, but it would have been fun. I like to do a special thing, and I like Gaga a lot.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, I get my email, and I'm like, So then I join the lottery. Then you have to wait the next day to see if you were picked in the lottery.
Oh, my God.
Then you're allowed, when you join the lottery, you give them your credit card and everything. Like, if you're picked, then...
So, like, it's happening.
It's happening.
Yes.
No refunds. You got your ticket.
Yeah.
And you can tell them, do you want to sit down on the floor, or do you want to be standing on the floor?
I prefer to sit. Cross-legged on the floor with everybody standing around me.
I mean, I do prefer to sit.
At first I was like,
it might be fun to be that close. But I'm like, girl,
No.
I want to sit.
No.
So long story short, I did win the lottery. Our friend Shep got the email. He won the lottery.
Wow.
So we're all going, him and his wife Tiffany, all went to Lady Gaga on Thursday. It was like
Oh my gosh, how lucky.
I know.
Are there like, what are the odds?
I mean, at first I saw everyone on Reddit was like, I got my thing. I'm in. I'm like, oh, they just let everybody go. But then I realized they sent all the yeses first, and then like 2 hours later, all the no's started getting sent out, and all these people were like, "Oh, I didn't get in. I didn't get it." And what my biggest regret is, you could only buy 2 tickets, and I only bought 1.
I should have gotten 2.
I should have gotten 2. I always get scared I'm going to get stuck with it.
Yeah.
Because they weren't that cheap. I mean, kind of cheap to see Gaga, but they were like $200 still.
That's a lot, yeah.
So it's not nothing. But then people were like, one person, I think they were joking. Shep is like, no, they were serious. Offered $5,500 for a ticket. Someone else is like, I'll give $1,400. There were people that are like, I will give you my barricade seat, which is like the best seat you can get at her main concert, where you're on the wall where she walks by.
The closest to the, okay.
They're like, I will trade you a barricade seat for February for 1 ticket to the, like, and I want to see her again in February. So like, I could have gotten that. People were, I'll pay for your ticket and my, like, I could have definitely gone for free or seen her again for free if I just had, and there were tons of people there waiting. Like, someone flew in, they were on Reddit all day. They're like, I flew in, I'm already in line, I'm number 40 looking for a ticket. And I saw him post that throughout the day. I don't know if he ever got a ticket.
Oh my God.
These fans are really into her. Like, this is also how I'm like, I'm not a Swiftie. I'm not a monster. Though, that being said, I'm glad that it was a camera-free show. We had to lock our cameras in a bag.
Oh, that's fun.
Because like halfway through first song, I'm like, pause up. I'm like, rah, 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 ah. I'm like a little monster with all these like young kids around me. Because you just get into it.
Sure,
She's so into
you
it.
get into it. It's funny. It's like there's so many ways to be a fan now. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sure there are the Taylor Swift people who love the like message board community. There's people who like the shopping aspect of it. There's people who just love the musicality and like geeking out about like the composition of the music. There's so many ways to be a fan now, and Lady Gaga's the same, right?
She's the same. And speaking of that, a little gripe on a Swiftie this week, like, what's his name? Joe Kearney from Stranger Things. He has a song that's been out for 3 years, and it went to number 1 this week in the UK, and maybe here. And it's very exciting. It's a great song. As soon as it went number 1, a Swiftie posted like, Joe just knocked Taylor out of number 1. Let's get her back in. Like, everyone, like, and everyone's like, and I was so happy that I looked at and everyone's like, girl, what are you doing? Like, she doesn't need you. Like, he's amazing. We can celebrate other people.
Can he have a turn? Like, can we like let other people have like 1 sec? And he'll probably be like knocked off anyway, like in a week. Like, let him have a moment.
Because of course, like, this week Taylor re-released that song in like another format because she does want to be number 1. But it's like, who are you doing that for?
Who is
like,
that for?
Like,
that's a certain type of fan. The people who are the stats Swifties.
Yeah,
God,
yeah, and they think
that's the dorkiest subset of fandom. It's a big obsessed with the stats.
I just like the music. She played the entire Mayhem album.
That's fine.
Reinterpreted, and I'm also the kind of fan. I'm like, because afterwards, I was like, oh, she did. Because oh my god, all day. So early in the day, Shep saw posting that someone said, okay, I was at a rehearsal. She's doing this whole album through the lens of grunge, and we were both like, oh, like there's nothing we want. Grunge and industrial. Oh, and we were like, oh, I'm
gonna need a new lens.
All day we were like, I was like, I'd rather it be opera than grunge. Yeah. And we're sending jokes back and forth, all dreading it. And then we watched the show, and I'm like, it was totally normal. But then I read reviews of it afterwards, and people are like, it was through a grunge lens. And I'm like, if it was, I didn't even notice.
Oh,
like,
wow, that's a gentle
everyone's
lens.
like, all the songs were reinterpreted. I was like, they were? I thought they were just like, that's how they go. So apparently I just dance and put my paws up.
You're just having fun. You're not there to be a fact checker. Yeah.
No. And then I got to do my little thing afterwards because we all got our cameras when we left, and I helped all the little monsters take their pictures with the marquee.
That's fun.
Oh my God. And I'll tell this story, and then we'll get into J.Crew. And by the way, Alistair, it's a long show. So it's 7 full pages, and we probably already talked for a half hour. But listen, okay, so I'm an archival producer, so I'm always collecting footage for projects for movies and whatever. Sometimes if I see a moment that I think will be interesting to look at in 100 years, I'll film it.
Yeah.
And this was one of those things. I was like, before the show, I was walking around Wilshire. I was like, I'm going to get the marquee with Lady Gaga, one night only, all this. Mm-hmm. And like, I went through the red lights a few times. Like, I would get in the middle of the street and get a good shot, whatever. So then I was doing that one time. I was like, okay. Oh, and then I like did that. And then I went up and I was like by the marquee, and I looked down, and there was one of those food robots. And I was like, oh my God, in 100 years. We'll be making fun of this in like 2 years.
Yes.
But okay, so here's my shot. I'm starting on the food robot. I was like, beautiful. I pan up to the Lady Gaga marquee, gorgeous. Then behind me, I hear a cop start yelling, like, move that car, get out of the way.
Wait, your car's parked at the
No, I'm
intersection?
out of the car. I'm standing.
Okay.
They're talking to someone else.
Okay, I see.
So then the cop's like, get your car out of the way. So I'm like, ooh, something's happening. I turn around, I shoot the cop, and then the car that's in the way. And then I see like a production car go by, and I'm like, is that Gaga? And then I see one of those cars where they're shooting somebody as if they're driving. So it's a car,
Yes.
if you don't live in LA, it's a car that's being pulled by a truck, and there's cameras focused on it.
So
and
the actors can pretend to drive.
Yeah.
Yes.
The actress, Kathy Bates, shooting MacGyver. I got all this in
Oh my God.
one shot, 1 minute and 5 second shot.
God, I love this town.
That's how I felt. I was like, God, I love LA. God, I love this town. Food robot to Gaga to shouting cop to Kathy Bates, all in one shot.
Send it, honestly, send it to Jim. James Cameron needs to. It could spark off an entire new project that we don't even know what it's going to be.
The funny thing is, truth be told, I did not know it was Kathy Bates at first. And after I filmed it, I looked at somebody and I was like, do you know who that old lady was? And then later we were in line and she went by again and everyone freaked out because everyone realized it was her.
Yeah.
So I had it not even knowing who it was at first.
Oh God, that's good.
But man, that was quite a moment.
God, what a man.
Maybe I'll put that on
I think you have to share that.
I'll put that on Instagram.
That's so cool. The most LA 5 seconds ever.
Man,
how fun.
I know.
Love that.
So that will be fun to look at in 100 years.
Yeah, people can beam it into their retinas from their jelly pods where their like bodies are kept in like hyperbaric whatevers. What are we going to be doing in 100 years?
And I just hope, God willing, Kathy Bates is still working then.
And MacGyver is still on CBS.
I mean, bless her heart, she's what, 70? And she's like 9 o'clock at night doing a night shot in a car on Wilshire in front of the Lady Gaga show, which I don't think the marquee had anything to do with the MacGyver thing. They're like, let's pick the worst spot to shoot right now, right outside of a one-night-only Lady Gaga show.
How confusing. You're watching an episode of MacGyver and it's like there's like a Lady Gaga concert going on in the background. Like, somebody should get fired over that. She's in her 70s?
I assume.
Wow, that's incredible.
Right? Hey, Siri, how old is Kathy Bates?
Okay, I found this on the web. For how old is Kathy
77.
Bates?
Oh,
Check it out.
my God. You know who else is old as hell? Ken Burns.
Oh, well, yeah.
I saw a little commercial because he has his Leonardo da Vinci PBS thing that came out, and he's in his mid-70s also. I'm seeing my mom in her mid-70s. She's tossing cat food to raccoons on the porch. She ain't leaving the house.
Babe.
She ain't leaving the house.
40's at the door.
Nobody's home. If you don't open the door and don't let it in, you don't turn 40.
No, it's not 40. It's a room service.
Do you remember? I mean, now at this point, it was 10 years ago. Somebody knocked on the door and they said, "Are your parents home?" They thought I was 12.
Do not remember that. Paid actor.
Or do you think it was like, "Are your parents home? We want to ask them about like assisted living opportunities in the neighborhood."
Oh, God, like my funeral, my cemetery breakfast. Hey.
Is your podcast co-host home? We have some exciting opportunities at Hollywood Forever. We're curious who'd like to get a good deal on a plot.
Would a wedge salad entice him to have?
Honestly, it might.
Honestly?
Oh, I love a wedge.
I love a wedge. All right, so J.Crew. It's 1947, as I mentioned, and we've got two guys, Mitchell Cinader and Saul Charles. Okay. And they established a company called Popular Merchandise Incorporated, which they do business as Popular Club Plan. And
two bad names.
Two bad names, and I'll be honest, I don't 100% understand what it is.
Nope.
I found a million ads for it. It was, from what I think it is, it was a mail order business.
Okay.
They would try to recruit women to create these clubs of 10 women.
Okay.
And I think it was like a Tupperware party.
Okay.
I think they would have a big catalog of stuff.
Sure.
The leader would be offered, like, if you put this club together, you get $25 worth of whatever. You can pick like a rug or a pot. You get that for free. You get these 10 women together. You show them all the things we're selling. They buy it.
And so you're at the top, and then there's two other ladies that you recruit that sell things on your behalf, and you get a little bit of their money, and then they each recruit two ladies. And it just so happens that the shape is a pyramid, but it's not a pyramid scheme. That's just the shape of the business structure. Nothing to see here, folks.
Nothing to see here. I literally have written right here, legitimate mail order business ? pyramid scheme question mark.
I would be such a sucker for a pyramid scheme because it's like they target me. It's like you're a stay-at-home mom. Do you have 2 hours a day to, help make a little funny money, a little getting around money, selling lipstick to your friends?
Yeah.
Ugh.
I would love to see you in a pyramid scheme.
Get
Well, whatever it was, it lasted for decades.
Wow.
Through the 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s. So now we're in the 80s. We're not going to talk about that anymore.
Great.
And I want to talk about shopping in the 80s. I want to touch on a couple of things that were going on in the 80s that changed coming out of the 70s. One of them was catalog shopping. Obviously, it had been around forever. I did an episode on Burpee. Their catalog started at the turn of the century. But catalog fashion shopping and catalog home shopping.
I mean, Sharper Image, that was it. Yeah, we talked about that. Yeah.
Really went through a boom at this time.
Sure.
And you had the grandfather catalogs. You had Sears catalog. You had Montgomery Ward. You had J.C. Penny.
Sure.
And those were kind of huge phone book sized catalogs. We used them as Christmas wish catalogs. We would go through it and circle everything we wanted in them.
Were those the ones where the pictures are the size of a penny? There's so many things that they're so tiny.
A lot of times. And I'll say one of my... God, this is going to be the nerdiest thing I ever said. I think only Nick Weiger might appreciate this. One of the jobs I used to work for Fox. And so I had access to the Fox Research Library. And one of the things they had there was this enormous, massive magazine and catalog collection. And they had all the Sears catalogs going back from when the 1800s. And I would go there, do whatever work I had to do. And then I would just sit there for 2 hours looking at old Sears catalog. I mean, it started out they're selling chickens and feed and and just through the years, all the different things that you could buy through these catalogs. It was so fun to look at.
So fun.
But a real nerd adventure. Then you started to get these more niche catalogs. So this is when we started seeing Land's End become really popular. LL Bean, Banana Republic is selling everybody on the safari vibe. You had Victoria's Secret hitting the scene. In 1982, the Victoria's Secret catalog brought in $7 million with their panties and bras. So you had all these little niche things.
And teenagers in their bedrooms have never been happier.
Oh my God. I can't even tell you. This is embarrassing. Children, cover your ears. Just looking at the men's underwear section of a Sears catalog. Yeah. Lumpless, nothing going on. Maybe a hairy chest was
you're seeing a belly button.
A belly button, a hairy leg. And back in the pre-internet days, you're just cooped up with your siblings all day, and all of a sudden,
Nowadays, for teenagers, if it's not a 9-person bukkake, it's I can't even get it to move. Wow.
I'm trying to remember if that's the first time bukkake has... We should have bukkake on the bingo card.
From now on, that square is dusty.
That square is dusty.
All around the world, people are hearing this. That's people blowing the dust off the bukkake square of their on-brand bingo card.
Isn't there a saying? Then someone could use that saying, didn't see getting bukkake on my bingo card this year.
That's right, yes.
And the reason catalogs were taking off, 80s was the time of yuppies. You had people getting credit cards. 800 numbers were becoming more prevalent. It was just all about ease. It was a way for people to follow trends. Like I said, there wasn't internet. So people would look at these catalogs for hours. They had nothing else to do. They were in terrible marriages.
People cannot understand how boring life was. And the things
but it wasn't.
No, it didn't feel boring.
It didn't feel boring.
Compared to now, the things that you could do to pass the time. I was thinking, I walked past a coffee shop and there was a guy who was doing a crossword puzzle in a newspaper, which is something I also like to do. But it's funny that doing anything not on your phone feels so performative now. If you walk by and you see somebody with a big newspaper and doing a crossword puzzle or sketching in a notebook, part of it is I feel in their head, it's don't look at your phone, don't look at your phone, don't look at your phone, don't look at your phone. You know what I mean? It's everything feels so performative. But that's just how life was. You could just be sitting and staring. You could be flipping through a Sears catalog for 2 hours, having the best time.
I know.
Oh, man.
I know. It was a great time.
It was a great time.
And you learn, when I was at Gaga and they take your phones away, you realize how much you'll
reach for it.
Because I just want to photograph everything and take pictures, but...
Could you have had a camera, a digital camera?
No, you couldn't even bring a bag.
Oh, wow.
Even a clear bag. It was
You had to be nude from the waist down.
100%.
That'd be an interesting concert choice. Make all the attendees be nude from the waist down.
Gaga I could see
she
her
could do
doing
it.
that.
Yeah.
Well, y'all have to dress like the underwear models in a Sears catalog.
Yes.
It was for Apple Music, and they were filming
Okay.
it. So
Oh,
I think
I
it's
see.
officially good. It'll come out at some point.
But that makes sense too, because you also don't want to see people seeing phones like in a footage of a concert. It's like kind of a turnoff.
I know, it was neat not to see that. The only bummer about it was I think they wanted the audience to be behind her in the background a lot, so she had her head, she was facing away from us a lot of the time.
Oh, really? To like make a good shot.
Like playing the piano was
Yeah.
away from us and not towards us.
That makes sense.
All right, so catalog's big thing. The other big thing going on in fashion in the 80s was just fashion brands popping up everywhere. We're coming out of the 1970s where everything was like, oh God, is there a worse decade? Everything's worse fabrics, worse colors, olive greens, rust, orange, yellow.
You are itchy in the 70s. You're
thick.
itchy.
It's like you're wearing a thick, there's not like crisp like collars. It's like
No.
a rounded polyester, whatever.
Polyester. Your armpits are rank.
It's rough.
Yeah.
So we're coming out of that, and immediately in the early 80s, this preppy aesthetic takes off. And I started to remember it. Like, I loved the show Facts of Life, and I know that was a boarding school, but the girls were wearing ties, different strokes. They were wearing little suits, family ties. You had Alex P. Keaton. Family ties really kind of sums up that whole transition period, because you had the hippie parents who, they didn't dress like hippies, but they were hippies at heart. And then you had Alex P. Keaton, played by the wonderful Michael J. Fox, who was like a Reaganist and like always in a suit and tie and as preppy as you could be.
He's representing the next generation. Yeah.
Yeah. And there were all these brands that were happy to supply that look to people. We had Ralph Lauren, we had Izod, we had Tommy Hilfiger, we had Lands' End, LL Bean, and they're all selling polo shirts and button-down classic sportswear, everything that the preps would want to wear.
Even just you saying that, I'm like, take it all back what I said. I'm all in.
I
need
know.
this life.
I want a Hunter Green library in my house with like all the books. I want a fireplace, even Coca-Cola, which talk about a perfect synergy for me. Coca-Cola got in on the preppy scene. They sold Coca-Cola rugbies, but they all said Coca-Cola really big on them. Like most of these things were a little more discreet, but like everybody was into this vibe.
God, so cute.
All right, so you remember at the beginning of the show, the company that started was Popular Club Plan by Mitchell Cinader. It's now being run by his son, Arthur. So he's looking around, and he's got this, they're still doing the, like, I have a toaster, go find some ladies to sell it to.
Yeah.
And he's like, okay, so we're already in the catalog business, and he grows it really well, bigger than his dad probably ever thought it could have grown. But he knows he's still not, like, one of the big players. Like, makes good money, but wants to do something bigger. And he sees these trends, that catalogs can make a ton of money, preppiness is in, and that's what he wants to do. And the niche that he feels like he could fill, you have all these people that love that Ralph Lauren aesthetic. Ralph Lauren's expensive at the time.
Yeah.
He's like, I want that aesthetic more affordable for like the drunk college kids who spend all their money going out on spending it on beer and partying, but they still want to dress like that. I will give them clothes that they can afford so they can have that look too.
It's like the mall crowd.
Yeah, it's kind of like Old Navy to Gap.
Yes.
This would be, well, they don't have a name yet, but this will eventually be J.Crew to Ralph Lauren. So he spends the next 2 years putting together this company. And like I said in the beginning, it wasn't a passion project for him. He didn't care about fashion. He just really wanted to make money. And I thought that was interesting because all these things all these brands we've done for so long, it's like, oh my God, I just wanted to sell my
Dyson,
phone.
tinkering away in the shed,
He's like,
getting
I don't
sucked
care.
off by a vacuum. Yes, it's different.
Absolutely.
Yes.
But this guy's like, no, I just want to sell it. But he's like, I do need a name for the company. And he's like, so he starts brainstorming like all these different names that have to do with like preppy and nautical, and it could be something with America or something with flag or heritage or like those crew teams. And he really likes the word crew. Crew's good. And he's a visual guy and he's picturing it. And he's like, it can't just be Crew magazine. That doesn't make sense. He's like, it needs a little bit more. So he's brainstorming more. Is it my crew? Is it the crew? Goes to the alphabet, A crew, B crew. It's like a Dr. Seuss song. Gets to J crew. He's like, well, that kind of feels preppy and it looks nice. We're going to call it J.Crew for no other reason than it's graphically pleasing.
Wow.
And sounds like it's got a little cachet.
It might be the perfect letter. I'm thinking about them. I'm like N crew, L crew,
Z crew. I know. I went through all the crew.
No.
E crew. That's a color, but then it's
I
like,
think it only works with J.
I know. It's a good letter.
Yeah. Wow.
As me, I have always loved my initials, JJG, because I love the lowercase j because I get a dot and I love the lowercase g, because what the is going on there? It's like a dance. It's like, let's just take, it's like, there, G.
Circles.
Circles connected,
so
a little tip in the hat, a knot,
a little hook.
A brim.
Is that the only letter that hooks?
Babe, it is the best letter. I love a lowercase g. I made a rubber stamp of a lowercase g back in the day, back when I thought I'd be like living this lifestyle, because I was going to seal all my letters with a black lowercase g stamp.
I mean, what if like we just like did? Like, what's holding us back from doing that? From like having seersucker pants and like and wax sealing letters? Like, you can.
I did used to get like a new linen shirt every like summer.
Yeah.
That would be my because we used to go to the beach so much. I did never do anymore.
No.
But I loved wearing a linen
at the
shirt
beach.
to the beach.
Yeah. Your rolled up linen pants, letting the waves lick your feet. Lick.
All right, so it's 1983, and J.Crew launches their first catalog. 10,000 copies are sent out to the upper middle class. And the first catalog is very different than the catalog will ever be again. There's very few J.Crew pieces in it. Why? Because he doesn't care. I guess what a lot of people do, maybe even still now, there's companies that just make clothes, and you can go in there and be like, okay, so we're going to do 1,000 of those shirts. We want it, this color is what will make it our brand. You'll put our label in it. We'll put different buttons on it. But you kind of have a company that you get the base item for it. And that's what a lot of it's kind of like private label stuff too.
Is that how it works?
I think so.
So like another company, another store in the mall could come in and go, okay, we're going to take that shirt, but we're going to do it in green, and we're going to put our little gold things here to make it our own and put our label on it.
When you're a small business.
Okay.
If you're a Ralph Lauren, you've got a design team, you're creating everything yourself. But in the beginning, and if you're a small business, this is a route that you can take.
Interesting.
So the catalog comes out. It's not a special looking catalog. It looks like a Land's End catalog, basically. The couples that are in it are described as looking like they would have come off like the cover of a romance novel. It's just kind of generic. You know, he did the best that he could. But in the first week, the telephones are ringing off the hook.
Wow.
People love what he's put together. They said the customer response was outstanding. And Arthur is like, I feel like I'm leaving money on the table. He's like, we should be designing our own stuff. Like, we should have J.Crew stuff. So he immediately is like, I'm going to make it all J.Crew. And he has advisors like, Arthur, like, it'll take you, just so you know, like a good 2 years. You should do this slowly, ease into it. He's like, I'm going full hog. He's like, I'm going all in. It's going to be all J.Crew all day long. Now,
again, I don't care and I'm not passionate about it. This is just what will make me rich.
And he still believes that. But what I do admire about him, he's also like, I'm an older man. I'm trying to get college kids to buy this stuff.
I don't know what the hell they want.
I don't know what they want, but you know who does, who just got out of college 1 month ago? My daughter, Emily.
Oh, wow.
So she's 21. She had just gotten out of college.
Go, Emily.
She studied marketing at the University of Denver. Perfect. And at this point, like, I can't even describe how small this company is. It's like a little corner in the office of that other catalog that's been around for 40 years.
Yeah.
There is no design team. There's no department. So it's not like, Emily, okay, you're going to start in mail and then you'll go up. There's just nothing there.
Like, Emily, you are now the boss.
Basically, she kind of just comes in. Apparently, she's very outspoken.
Wow.
Some people are like, it was great. She kind of just like, came in and figured it out. Other people are like, she's a bitchy boss. And like, there's always going to be.
Sure. Well, and she's so young. It's like she's telling us how to, like, what to do. Like, this kid just graduated.
And, you come in from college. She, like, understood quality. She understood the preppy aesthetic. She really had an eye for it. She knew what she wanted J.Crew to look like, but she just didn't really know how to get it there. Because she's just green. She just doesn't know how the fashion industry works or any of that.
Oh, my gosh.
Another good point about her is she's willing to talk to people and learn from people and do what she needs to do.
Yeah.
So one night in 1984, Emily goes on a date in a busy restaurant.
Okay.
Her date brings a friend who is also bringing a date. So she's essentially on a double date.
Okay.
She starts talking to her date's date, Tierney Gifford Horn, who was newly hired at Vogue magazine as a fashion assistant.
Okay.
And this is like Emily's dream.
Wow.
She's like, I don't care about my date. Tell
like, you, me, girl,
you
we
and
need
me,
to talk.
focus, lock in. Tell me everything. She's like, tell me about marketing. Tell me, how does a photo shoot work?
Did then the two guys who were on the date, did they just end up dating each other?
I think they ended up having their first man-on-man kiss at this dinner. No one really goes into details, just that it was a very exciting night.
We'll spin that off into a bonus episode.
So they have this great conversation. The next morning, Emily wakes up, and apparently people really just liked her. She was very beautiful. She was very, like, infectious to talk to. People loved just...
Emily?
Yeah.
Yes, okay.
So she wakes up, and she's like, man, that was a really great conversation. She's like, I think, you know what? So she reaches out to Tierney, and she's like, listen, I know you just got this job at Vogue, but I have this catalog that has absolutely nothing going for it yet, and I would like you to come work for me. And Tierney's like, what are you talking about? She talks to her coworkers like, you're insane. We will take you to a mental institution if you leave Vogue. Nobody
To go to this
unknown.
Who knows what this is?
First catalog looks like Land's End.
Wow.
But she liked talking to Emily so much. She's like, you know what? I will leave Vogue. I will join you.
There's something cool about having an opportunity to really like make your stamp on something, which I mean, Vogue has already stamped. You know what I mean? Like you're not going to like forge a new path for Vogue.
You're absolutely not going to forge it.
So she probably got excited about like, I'm going to like build something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love
and this
that.
is probably back when apartments in New York were like $800 instead of like $7,500.
Sure.
So she takes the job. She shows up at the office and she's a little bit like, what the fuck?
So this is your office. It's this corner of this large, strange catalog studio.
Like old women with like phone headsets on the other side of the room.
Taking orders for like blenders.
You wanted how many blender? Yes, it does come in passion pink. Absolutely. We'll get that out by Monday.
Yeah, so she's planning her escape.
So she's like, what did I do?
Is this?
What's going on? But Emily fills her in. She shares her complete vision for what she thinks J.Crew could be. Her big thing is she wants it to be more like a fashion magazine than a normal catalog.
Okay.
She wants everything to look like it was snapshots taken in real life. She wants the clothes to be stylish and tasteful and fun and playful and affordable. And at some point they're talking and Horn tells her about her own childhood. And I love that you mentioned the Hamptons in the beginning of this because she was like, my family, like then this is before the Hamptons were the Hamptons. But she's like, my family, we would go on vacations in the Hamptons and like we would fish in the ocean or whatever. Is it the ocean that's at the
ocean.
We would fish at the ocean and we would build a fire on the beach and we'd cook the fish. And Emily's like salivating. She's like, this is what I'm talking about.
Yes.
Please tell me you have pictures of this.
I'm not kidding. I have chills. It makes me like mad when I get chills. I'm like, really? The story of like the inception of the J.Crew aesthetic is like giving me chills. Like, get a life, girl.
No, that's why these brands are ingrained in us. That's why we do what we do.
Yes.
And that's why I do try to spend a lot of time on how to reveal the information.
Honestly, it's beautiful.
So she sends this picture, and I do have the picture. I'll put it in the supplementals, but it's like her family, and it's like, you know, it's exactly what she wants. You have the nautical scene in the background. It just looks like this beautiful snapshot of a family. It's pure Americana.
Everyone's hot, but like not like trying to be hot. It's like your hair looks like you've been on a boat. You're a little windswept. Your pants are rolled up, but you're like tan and rich. So like your teeth are white. You're a little rumpled, but in a fancy way.
So white.
Yeah,
and you're 100% on the money. So when they start doing these pictures, they want it to be a combination of Ralph Lauren without like the rich bits. There's not going to be a Rolls Royce.
True.
They want
that was always kind of like hunting lodgy. That was the type of rich person who's not getting their toes in the sand. These are people who, are like cooking a fish on a campfire. They know how to build a fire.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And they wanted to replace like all the models with really realistic middle-class looking people. They weren't looking for perfection. There was something I saw that said if you had a scar, that could be an asset.
Wow.
They were going to be dressed in J.Crew, but they were going to be dressed in used J.Crew. And this is very reminiscent of like what George Lucas did with Star Wars.
Yes.
Every science fiction movie up until Star Wars, everything was crisp and clean and white and new. And he wanted that world to look very lived in. So like metal things, the paint had been scratched scratched off and
rusty,
there were dents and dings.
yeah.
And
Wow.
that's what they wanted to do with
Yes.
this. So they would get brand new khakis and they would wash them repeatedly so they look like they had been worn.
And they do. They look like they've been worn all day.
I
They
know.
look like they've been worn all day. Yeah.
They would take leather belts and scuff them. They'd have you walk around in your boots in like mud and stuff to get dirt on them.
Wow.
They would fray the sweaters a little bit. So instead of trying to make it look like it was like this new outfit that you would see on this skinny little mannequin in Macy's, they wanted it to look like you had just gotten back from a weekend at the beach and you're wearing your favorite outfit that still has a lot of life in it. And you can almost like smell it when you
the
look at the pictures.
campfire. Smell the bonfire on the sweater.
I implore you to like
Wow.
just Google like 90s J.Crew catalogs. And if you're a nerd like me, it's like white teeth, like smiling. The other thing that they thought would be so great is they wanted all the models to be in motion. So they would literally create almost
Wow.
like what was like a movie set. So they wanted the models to forget that there was cameras there. They would be like, okay, you three go chase each other. Like they would throw
With a
something like, go get
frisbee.
it.
You're
And-
making s'mores. You're
yeah,
over
and like
here
everyone's doing
playing
something.
catch.
When you look at them, like everyone's like moving around, and then they would look at all the photos afterwards, and they had like a ratings of some of their ratings were like, that's a tee-hee, and I thought that was the funniest one. And a tee-hee was if anyone looked like they were like laughing
Like
with their
hiding a
hand up, that
smile?
was immediately thrown out. Like that's like a model, that's like a catalog picture.
Interesting.
So no tee-hees were allowed in the catalog.
We want like authentic, genuine
Yeah,
moments, little
yeah.
snapshots.
Yeah, and so that's
Wow.
what they strived for, and it was kind of amazing to me that this whole entire aesthetic that we still know today,
Yes.
which I'm going to get to something very disturbing at the end of the show, was based on this photograph that they got from this woman that they
Well, and the vision of somebody who's that green, that new to an industry, to have like that this is actually what will connect with people because they're tired of like real life is not a posed model in a catalog. Real life is being out in the world and living in these clothes. For somebody like that to have that vision.
I know.
And even to say like, oh, the imperfections, like, sure, your teeth are still white, you're still hot, but maybe you have a scar. Like that's like a very 2025 thing. You know what I mean? Like
Totally.
To think like we want to show people looking a little bit more. So to have that then statue in every town square.
Every town square.
There should be a marketing class in college on this woman and this exact arc. Wow.
Maybe the college that we're curriculum
Honestly,
at, maybe we'll reach out to them and they can do it.
This needs to be, there's a test is on Monday. Study up, bitches. J.Crew 101.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I was thinking about it, and with that, coming from like that aspirational eye, it's like you're looking at these pictures, you're in your 20s, you're young, you don't have money. And it's not just like, it's like you see that, and it's like, I can live that life. Like if I get that sweater, look how that sweater's holding up. Like it's not just this moment. I know that I can go through time with this thing, and it'll become my own. Like God, it reminded me of I dated this guy in college. This is such a personal, like off-brand story, but I dated this guy in college, and I was obsessed with the way that he smelled. He just had his own smell, and he left one summer and left his hat, and his hat smelled like him. And God, I could just live off that smell. And I remember when he finally reconnected again, like I gave him a hug, and he was like, "Oh my God, there's that smell." He had a smell for me, and I didn't realize that.
Wow.
But that's kind of what this whole thing reminds me of, like these like important pieces that are just everyday things, but they have such meaning and like depth to them.
Sure. And especially if you're projecting out like your fantasy of what you want your life to be. And if buying a $50 sweater can give you a sliver of that fantasy and you can imbue it with all this meaning and what it represents, and when you put it on, you're that much closer to the life you want. I mean, that's the entire facade, the entire trick that these companies play to get us to spend money, right?
Yeah, for sure.
The buying this sweater.
And that is the thing. This is all still just to get
It's
money.
still just to get
because
money.
they would talk about like Emma, like if a photo shoot, like there was one photo shoot they were supposed to do, the connection flight wasn't there. They're up all night. They get there. Everyone's on double time. They wanted to like just rest, and they call Emily. She's like, "Get to work." Like it was still kind of like
this is a business.
It's a business.
Yeah.
And something that I thought was interesting, I don't remember where I have it in my notes, so I'll just put it here. Apparently, the style of J.Crew grew with Emily during this time period, too. When she was in her 20s, it was more like what someone in their 20s
Juvenile,
would be focused on. And as she grew up, it became more like workwear and like things that she would be interested in.
Wow.
She would also, which, God, this is something I would love to do. she would scour like flea markets and everything for these props that we see in these things. So she's looking for like worn sports gear and used surfboards, slingshots, like a perfect dog, a rustic coat rack, like an old barrel, like just all that stuff that I'm always kind of...
A jar of rusty old screwdrivers, 100%.
She would love
your
my screwdriver collection.
Yes.
She would absolutely love it. And another thing I thought that she did that was super interesting and became kind of an aesthetic of J.Crew, out of necessity, they didn't have a ton of money. So she started dressing everybody in layers. So you would be a model and you would go in, you would have a t-shirt and then you would have like a button down and then you would have a sweater and then you would have a barn coat. And as the day went on, you would just keep taking off a layer. So one person's already dressed for 4 different looks.
Wow.
But then the layered look became very associated with J.Crew.
That is so
But it was done just because they didn't have a lot of money and they didn't have time to like do all the different
big changes.
Yeah. So I thought that was really interesting.
That's really cool. How funny.
So they end up with this whole vibe that we're talking about. It's an aspirational catalog, but what's nice about it, it's an aspirational that seems relatively achievable. Yes, that is $180 for this jacket is a lot, but if I don't go out to dinner for 3 weeks, I can afford it.
Sure,
I can get to it. It's not intimidating. It became very culturally relevant. They had editorial-worthy photography in it, and it just portrayed this whole picturesque, easygoing Americana life that they became known for, and they created legions of fans with it. And they started to be considered more fashionable than even some magazines were. She was really getting what she wanted out of it.
I remember, like in my mind, I could pick them out of a lineup, certain J.Crew models.
Oh,
because like I've seen them so many times. They would use the same people. They kind of like rumpled a little bit, like the girl with the rumpled brown hair, and always and I swear if you Google it, it will autofill J.Crew like red lipstick because there was a poppy red orange lipstick that was like the signature J.Crew lipstick that like if a model was dressed fancy, she would wear that. But it just was so unique. It stood out from everything else. Like no, like a model from a J.Crew catalog would not be in place in like a Banana Republic or a Ralph Lauren or like they would comb her hair or like put a little bit more makeup on. It was, they just really found something so specific that didn't compare to anything else at the time. Yeah.
I think that's very, very true. Now, the clothes, for the first couple years, they still had no official design team. It wasn't until like 85-ish, I think, that they started to put one together. And everything that went into the catalog, Emily had to personally like it. She wasn't putting anything in there that she didn't like at all. It was very much J. Emily for a while. And then after they wanted to get away from doing those clothing that I mentioned before where they just changed colors and whatever. She started to go out, like she would search for props, but she would search for clothing pieces.
Oh, okay.
And then send those to manufacturers to copy them.
Recreate this.
But in new fabrics and different, like, kind of as a jumping off point.
Yeah.
And that's how you get like those barn coats.
That's
or like,
cool.
she'd remember her dad wearing this like jacket when he would go sailing and let's like create that, or the boyfriend sweater, or all of those things. So in the mid 80s, this design team starts to take shape. She's pulling people from all over the industry. She's even getting some people from Ralph Lauren to work with her, which is kind of a nice full circle-y moment since that's where this kind of all started. And that's when you start to see some of these iconic pieces they became known for, like the roll neck sweater. Someone thought there was nothing new you could do with a sweater. Well, you can just not do the ribbon finishing on it, and then you get this roll neck sweater that became so iconic. The perfect pocket tee, the barn jacket, and just all these things that they became known for. Yeah. And it's kind of insane how quickly sales went for them. So in 1983, the catalog sales, they brought in $3 million. 1988, 5 years later, it's up to $108 million. Oh my God. 89, 1 year later, $160 million. So it's astronomical how much money
Thank God
they were
for
bringing.
Emily. Daddy had no plan.
Daddy didn't even care about pants. And now he's got 3 swimming pools.
Wow.
So they're in 1989, they're at 160,000. Just for comparison, Lands' End is still a huge player. They're bringing in $300 million, and LL Bean's bringing in like $500 million.
Wow, okay.
So they're bigger, but they're getting there.
Yeah.
1988, I thought this was interesting. They launched the first J.Crew factory before they even have a retail store. I didn't know
What?
factory stores were 1 year before.
I'm shocked.
They've already got this aura of being kind of elitist. It's considered a top-tier fashion magazine-ish, but it's free, which is kind of a fun dichotomy. And their shoppers are described as super achievers who simply don't have time to shop.
Wow, okay.
So they grab this elite catalog and buy from it. And even though the catalog's doing so good, and like I said, they're coming in on $200 million a year, in the spring of 1989 is when they decided to open their first store.
Wow.
So they open a big flagship store in New York at South Street Seaport, and it makes $10 million its first year, so it's obviously not a bad way to go.
Seaport, like ocean.
Yeah.
Like you're out on a boat, you've been sailing all day.
It's a perfect place to set up camp.
Fry up the tuna.
Fry up the tuna, yeah. You know, people are loving my,
Your British accent,
My British accent.
Everyone's really excited.
I'm going to
about
do
it.
the last 3 pages of notes in a British accent, yeah?
Love it.
All right, so we go in, now we're headed in the 90s, yeah? All right, so 1991, just a quick little thing. Jenna Lyons, 21, graduated from Parsons School of Design.
Yes.
Starts at J.Crew as an assistant of an assistant of an assistant. That's what she said. I think she actually started as a designer.
Okay.
I'm just putting a pin in her for now.
We know who she is, yeah.
You do?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So
Oh,
I'm just
yeah.
putting a pin in her for now. Now, the 90s, J.Crew starts to have this identity crisis.
Oh.
Preppy is still around, but there's a lot more options going on. We've
Interesting.
got grunge hitting the scene in the early 90s. Everyone's shopping at thrift stores.
The grunge lens.
The
Get it out of
grunge
here.
lens. You have everyone just pulling clothes from their parents' closet.
Oh, interesting.
Flannel. You've got
Yeah.
punk. You have emo. You have hip hop. You have African influenced clothes. Abercrombie is in. Gap is in. And J.Crew, they're just kind of one of the ones that are like, do we keep making preppy things? What are we doing?
Yeah.
Emily doesn't know exactly what to do. They're just kind of riding it out. Why is everybody going to the Gap? The Gap is obviously, it's an on-brand favorite of ours.
Huge.
Episode number 1 of our show. But it was before we really went into the history of things. I would have to listen. I don't even know what we talked about. I remember we went to the Gap. I feel like we just described the Gap at Glendale Galleria, and that was the episode. But I want to talk about this guy.
We might have to revisit the Gap to like learn where it came from.
I know.
Even though we've done it before.
I know. We might have to do
nothing
Gap
about
number
it.
2. I want to talk about a guy named Mickey Drexler, who joined the Gap in 1983. That's the same year that Emily joined J.Crew.
Yes. Okay. Wow.
So are you familiar with this name?
Drexler. It sounds familiar. I think I know this. Okay.
All right, so you've got Mickey. He joins the Gap in 1983. And at the time when he joins, you look at old pictures, Gap is they're selling hoodies, they're selling khakis, they're selling Levi jeans because they're
Yes.
not making their own jeans. They're selling music and cassettes. It's all over the
Yeah.
place. They haven't found their identity yet either. And he really helps evolve the brand. He helps them craft this perfectly comfortable American vibe. It becomes known as a reliable brand, unpretentious with everyday wear. 1986, he wants more stylish clothes for his own son. He creates Gap Kids. 1991, he comes out with one of my all-time favorite brand slogans of all time. For every generation, there's a Gap. I think it's absolutely flawless.
Genius.
1994, he's like, what should I create now? I guess, that bar I saw in France, what was that called again? Old Navy. Yeah, let's make a store called Old Navy. That goes on to become the biggest earner of the Gap company.
Crazy.
1997, Titanic comes out. 1998, he comes out with my other favorite commercial of all time, the khaki swing commercial. Who can forget it? Jump a jivin'.
I mean, I could cry. It's so good. It's
I could cry because I realized
perfect.
this bitch is in 1998 putting out this commercial. He literally could have that day gone to see Titanic, still in tears, goes home, turns on the TV, and the khaki jump and jiving commercial comes on.
Time machine, take me there.
Give me a classic Big Mac from 1960 and take me to 1998.
Time travel hamburger man.
This is the destination for time travel hamburger man. What a time to be alive. In the 18 years that Mickey was at the Gap, he grew the brand from $400 million in revenue to $14 billion in revenue.
Wow.
Then 2002, Gap sales go down a little bit. Their stock goes down a little bit. Mickey's fired. You're out.
Wow.
Get rid of him. In the meantime, while all that's going on that he's doing at the Gap, we've got Jenna Lyons over at J.Crew climbing the ladder. She goes from designer to design director to vice president of women's and men's. She's just growing and growing and growing. And like I said, the 90s, while she's there, it's all about just keeping J.Crew alive, keeping the brand surviving, figuring out who that they are. They get to a point where product design decisions are being made by management consultants.
Wow.
I don't know why that is. I don't know why Emily seems to have pulled back a little bit from it. But it seems like they're going through a period where they're putting money before branding.
Interesting.
The collections become bloated and not cohesive. It's just not a great time for them. Emily, who has spent the last 20 years really making J.Crew a household name, she dips in 2003. She's like, dip. Now, if you remember, a year earlier, Mickey just got fired from the Gap. So who is more perfect to step in? Mickey jumps over to J.Crew.
Great.
So Mickey gets in there. J.Crew's going through financial distress. They're considered a bit player in the fashion industry. And he's ready just to get to work. One of my favorite stories, and I'm going to try to just paraphrase it because it was a little long, that Lyons recalled her first time meeting Mickey. It was his first day, and he comes in and he tells everyone, I want you to know you are interviewing for your job. So it didn't matter how long they had been there. Like, you were interviewing. He's like, all right.
Damn.
So Jenna, show me the entire women's collection. Show all of us. So she's in like a front of 50 people. She has to go through every single thing that they're selling at J.Crew. So she pulls up like 3 pair of pants. He's like, do you like these pants? She's like, I'll be honest, I like this one pair. I don't love these. He's like, throw those on the floor. She like pulls up a little poodle sweater. He's like, do you like that? She's like, I don't. Throw it on the floor. Pulls up like this cashmere t-shirt. He's like, what do you think about that? She's like, if I'm being completely honest, I think the cashmere is cheap. Throw it on the floor. They spend 2 days doing this. She's like, I'm scared as hell, but I'm also kind of excited. Like, I'm getting goosebumps knowing what that must have felt like for her. She's like, because I don't know if I'm getting fired, but he's letting me, like, everything that is remaining are things that I think should be there.
Yes.
Like, so they go through all of this. So, of course, obviously, she ends up keeping her job and gets promoted to creative director. And they start talking about things. He's like, that cheap cashmere, what are we going to do about that? She's like, you know what? I think we go to this other mill. They make really nice cashmere. He signs off on it. And this becomes the moment where they really start to, again, be known for the quality of the clothes that they make. Because he's like, anyone can be known for making a lot of clothes.
Sure.
It takes a lot to get a reputation for making quality clothes, but he's all in on it. He's like, we'll have less stuff that's made better. He sends her off on a trip. He's like, go out there, fill the holes that we just made with better things.
Oh my God, because now they've cut whatever their slate is by 80%. It's like you have to go out and now find some new designs that you would wear. And apparently not everyone kept their jobs. During that couple of days, a lot of people did lose their jobs. Wow.
But it was like they had this really intense and honest first meeting, and they became this kind of brilliant, like, relationship duo to like attack bringing this company back. And they're so different. There's like a 25-year age difference between them. He's from New York, she's from California, but for some reason everything just worked. He considered her the most, like, the smartest, most brilliant like designer he had ever met, and like they just meshed really well.
That's awesome.
And then while she's off doing that, he's like this man of action. He expands J.Crew into a lifestyle brand. He launches the bridal collection in 2004 that you mentioned. They're selling bridal dresses at reasonable prices in a rainbow of colors, because up until then, that was always the big joke. If you're a bridesmaid, you have to wear like an ugly peach dress made of chiffon that you got at some stupid store. They're making like bridesmaid dresses cool. He launches Madewell in 2006, which is like a denim-focused sister brand that they still have in their portfolio now. Again, for kids, he launches Crew Cuts in 2006, launches Wedding and Parties. I couldn't figure out if he or Jenna launched this. This might be a little bit of a Hazinga just when it launched.
Okay.
But in 2008, they launched what is called the J.Crew Collection, which is still out. I looked it on their website. They're very expensive pieces. It'll be like a really cool red leather jacket that they don't make a ton of, but it'll be like $8,000.
Oh.
But they launched this in 2008, which if you remember, we were in the middle of a recession and we're kind of like...
I'll buy a red leather motorcycle jacket in a few years.
It wasn't it just maybe not have been the best time to launch.
Sure, yeah.
He launches the liquor store and the men's shop, or like they were these men's destinations. I remember the Grove used to have the men's shop.
J.Crew, yeah.
And they'd be curated with other brands. You would find nice Timex watches there.
Sure,
and
yeah.
It was just like they were creating a whole vibe.
Yeah, wow.
And then in 2008, they had something that they did not necessarily see coming that really helped them out a lot. There was an appearance on The Tonight Show with Jay Leno by, maybe you've heard of her, Michelle Obama. And she's dressed completely in J.Crew.
Yes.
She's
I forgot about that.
Touting like how you can look like, and she's like a fashionista. She just released a book on, I think, her fashion during her time at the White House.
It's so perfect. I mean, it's like, it's accessible. It represents the Obamas. It's like, this is a gorgeous, successful, stylish woman. And she's wearing J.Crew. So like you could afford the same dress that the first lady is wearing. Like, come on.
And I think we were coming off of a time, I know we don't like to get into politics, but this is so related. We had Sarah Palin was part of that election.
Yes.
And she had gotten some heat for spending so much money on the outfits that she had been wearing.
I mean, I'm sure that everything's a choice, like politically, like their brands also. The Obamas were a brand.
Yeah.
And so that was probably part of their thing is like, what's the right brand to represent this couple?
Yeah.
And J.Crew is just so perfect for
It's
Michelle
so
Obama.
perfect.
Yes.
It was the ultimate celebrity endorsement. The first daughters, Sasha and Malia, wore crew cuts at the inauguration and throughout the presidency. Time magazine, and I'll put some pictures from this in the supplementals, wrote an article called 15 Times Michelle Obama Wore J.Crew.
Wow.
And so she really, it wasn't just like, I'm going to do this so people think I'm normal. It was
she
like
loved it,
ingrained in her wardrobe.
Yeah,
so that was great. 2010, Drexler appoints Lyons as president of J.Crew. They start showing at Fashion Week in New York. They're really just like part of that world now. J.Crew announced the same year that they will be taken private with a leverage buyout of $3 billion. Drexler reportedly received $200 million in cash and 8.8 stake in the new company.
Crazy.
And J.Crew, as we know, will go into significant debt. 2011, this is silly. Jenna gets backlash because she did an advertisement with her son and he had painted his toenails pink, and that got a lot of... In 2011, I guess that was worth people really getting up in arms about.
Wow, times have changed.
Pushing the trans agenda on us. People were just... didn't know how to react to this at all.
That is so weird.
So silly.
Wow, crazy.
2014, we see a kind of a rough dip. They go from a net income of $35.4 million to a loss of $607.8 million in 1 year.
Yikes.
2016, their long-term debt is approximately $2 billion. They shutter the bridal collection. Now, in 2017, we got a brutal year. April 3rd, Jenna Lyon dips. April 25, the company terminates 250 jobs to save money. May 24th, Drexler says in an interview, we became a little too elitist in our attitude. We gave a perception of being a higher priced company than we were in our catalog, online, and in our general presentation. It was a very big mistake. 1 week later, Drexler dips. November 22, they announce 50 store closures.
Who's running the ship at this point?
That's a rough year.
Carol in the mailroom? Who's making these decisions?
Carol in the mailroom.
We need a boss. My God.
The only thing I put down for 2018, because I thought it was so funny after all this, August 6th, J.Crew announces a loyalty program.
Insiders save 10%.
For every 100 you spend, you can get a free pocket square. May, now this is kind of fun. May, and this I alluded to this in the open. May 4th, 2020, file for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. The first major retailer to do so in the COVID pandemic.
Wow.
Primarily due to heavy debt load from a previous private equity buyout. It always happens.
It always happens.
Also, changing consumer taste and an accelerated decline because of the pandemic.
Sure.
That all being said, the company successfully restructured converting $1.6 million in debt to equity and emerging from bankruptcy in September of that year. So they were only in bankruptcy for like 5 months.
I'm so confused.
I don't get it at all.
Can I just get restructured and they'll be like, actually, you're not poor. You're quite rich. You're a millionaire now.
Wait, I owe $1.6 billion. No, not anymore. That's now equity.
You see, we restructured you, and now you're a billionaire.
You are now very
I need
rich.
to be restructured.
Yeah, so all is good in 2020. We're headed back.
Okay, great.
2025, huzinga. This makes me so mad. I've spent 1/4 of this episode talking about the labor and love that Emily put in to creating the catalog and these ads.
Yes.
2025, J.Crew comes out with an undisclosed AI ad.
Emily is rolling in her bed. She's not dead. She's rolling in her bed.
She's very rich. She's rolling in her huge, comfortable bed.
You can roll a lot of times in a California king. She's rolling over 9 times seeing the news.
If you look at the shoelaces, you will see that part of the shoelaces are missing. If you look at the stripes on the nautical sweater, you'll see some of the stripes are flawed.
Wow. I mean, you're buying an actual product. We need to see what it looks like.
They were still proud to put the big old J.Crew behind the fake model.
How dare you.
They got a lot of heat for it. The way they resolved it was not by answering it. They just put a little thing on it saying art created by whatever the AI company was. I'm calling that a huzinga.
I mean, it's how far is that too from like Emily was like models are too fake, like photo shoots are too fake. Like
I know
and
it's
now,
1,000% the opposite of what we want.
Exactly. Oh, so stupid.
Now here we are, 2026, post bankruptcy. They went through an aggressive store closure period.
I feel like ours closed. The one at
I was going to say before I even did this a few months ago, I was like, where's J.Crew? I was like, there used to be one at Americana. It's not there. And then I pulled it up on a map. It is now, and these numbers will reflect it, J.Crew went from having 450 normal J.Crew stores to 100. They have 330 factory stores. So when you search LA, it's like 30 J.Crew factories and like 2 J.Crews.
That is bone chilling.
It's sad.
That's really sad.
Fun fact, when we did our photo shoot where we spent $900 just to see the top of our heads, I bought a bunch of stuff from J.Crew Factory to return after. I bought a ton of clothes during that.
Did you return it all?
I did.
Did you return 100% of the clothing that you bought?
One jacket I didn't because I waited too long. So I got stuck with a maroon jacket, but now I wear it when I go. Yeah, when I go out.
There you go.
So they decided to focus on an omni-channel. I hate that word. Even the fact that they're saying we're focusing on an omni-channel retail rather than a large physical footprint. I'm like, did AI write that?
It's such a lie.
It's such a lie. They have...
It's like a kid with his hand caught in the cookie jar that's like, actually, I'm restructuring my caloric intake for the day for a more omnipresent direction.
Why do you have 9 fingers?
What a scam.
They have 150 Madewells. I think Madewells are doing really well.
I love Madewell.
I didn't know if it was Madewell or Madwell. I called them yesterday. I thought it was Madwell. But I called them and like, welcome to Madewell. And I was like, okay, it's Madewell.
And you hung up?
I did. Well,
you say, hi, I'm a journalist.
It was a recording.
Making a radio
But
show.
I was expecting to have to tell my credentials.
Oh, wow.
And then next week, I think from when this airs or in a couple of weeks, J.Crew will be represented at the Winter Olympics. They do have a collection online. They're part of the U.S. Ski and Snowboard.
So they made like some chic little ski suits?
They are, the line is so cute. It's like retro, red, white, and blue, patchy, fun shapes, jackets, socks. It's expensive. Sweaters.
You buying a ski suit?
You know what I'm worried about now? I'm not going to lie.
What?
This week, we were able to register to let them know if we want tickets to the Olympics. I started looking at the Olympic gift shop. I'm a little worried that I'm going to go down an Olympic rabbit hole. I need to wait till 2029 when it's all like in a clearance bin.
Babe, the next time I see you, you better not be head to toe Olympics.
Lapel pin, t-shirt. Luckily, what I do love about the Olympic design for the Summer Olympics in LA is they write L.A. and the A is done a million different ways. And I don't like them all. Like, I like the graffiti one the best, and there wasn't much merch with that. So hopefully that'll save me.
Narrow it down a little bit.
I know I'll be rocking some Olympic stuff coming up here soon.
Yipes.
So with this apparel, they've launched this lifestyle apparel collection. It's vintage-inspired retro designs for men, women, and kids, celebrating mountain culture and featuring American athletes in the campaign.
Great. I love that.
The purpose is to connect timeless American style with global sports culture.
Love it.
And to complement, ironically, the official Olympic outfitters, Ralph Lauren. Now they're working in tandem.
Wow.
And then my final thing, which you probably already know, I didn't. Jenna Lyons went on to star in Real Housewives of New York. Yeah. She ended up not doing it for very long because she said she was the oldest person there. She couldn't relate to where they were in their lives. She said a lot of the women there were like really hustling. She was past that period. She now wanted to focus on things of significance. She was also a lesbian.
I was going to say relax. Like focus on, like I want to put my energy towards other things, not just like, girl, relax. You work hard. Relax.
Did you watch it?
Yeah.
Okay.
She's cool. She's really cool. Yeah.
Cool style. Just had it all along from a very young age. What a cool little career she did.
Yeah, she's awesome.
But now it's like, I wonder if she looks at J.Crew and she's like, meh.
I mean, certainly during some periods, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure. Some of those choices would be ending up on the boardroom floor.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean?
Well, that's the story. So you've gotten chills. You've learned some things. I don't know if anyone had to pull over in this episode. Maybe there was something.
I think the alphabet moment might have made somebody, they might have just like pulled over to like the median, like a turn lane and just kind of hung out there, engine running. Yeah. And then they got back on the road.
And her name was Jennifer and she's like, get to Jay, Jay.
That's really exciting.
Would you say it's on brand or off brand for you?
This was an emotional roller coaster. I mean, like I started saying like, I can't honestly say it's super on brand for me because I haven't shopped there in a really long time. But I do have some stuff from J.Crew. I have a J.Crew bathing suit. I've certainly gotten J.Crew stuff over the years. You telling me the story, like the brand is on brand for me. You know what I mean? Like they've fallen, they've changed, but the brand J.Crew, I mean, it stirs my loins in a way only a few brands can. So I'm going to say yes, it's on brand for me.
Interesting. I'm torn too because I would say today I'm not running out to J.Crew for anything.
But if they close, wouldn't you be sad? Like if it was like, oh, they're done, they're gone. I'd be like, oh.
I guess. I mean, now we're just in a world where we just get used to things being gone.
Sure.
I got to get a hiccup in. I would be me if I didn't hiccup. I would say it's also a light on brand.
It's hard because we don't shop there.
The story is on brand.
The story is on brand.
I love the story. I mean, that whole story is why I think we do this show, to learn that stuff. Yes. But no, I'm not on brand for a brand that's making AI commercials. And
I don't have jcrew.com as like a bookmark. I'm not surfing jcrew.com.
I do love the Olympic collection, though. It's another thing I wouldn't look good in. It's not for me.
It's like ski clothes, right?
Well, there's sweaters and stuff, and the rugby's really cute, but I don't think I'd look good in it.
I've never seen you in a rugby shirt.
I know.
Not like I wouldn't like it. I think I might like it.
I'd like to get a vintage Coke one. Swatch also made rugbies too, which I really enjoyed.
I know which one you're talking about, where it's like a Coca-Cola, and it's red and white, red.
Mm-hmm.
I know.
It's like red with a white banner
white stripe
that says Coca-Cola. Yeah.
Those are cute.
Or blue. Yeah. All right. So light on brand for both of us.
Yeah.
There you go. Another brand in the portfolio.
Ooh.
Check it off. Olympics topic done. I didn't want to do football. So I did an Olympic. This is so loosely the Olympics.
This is the Olympics episode?
This is my Olympics episode. Feel free to do another one.
Great.
I already did the rings and the torch.
No, this is as close as I want to get to the Olympics.
What else can I do? There you go. All right. Well, thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed it. Now we got to give some shout outs to our Freaks of the Week. And if you're not familiar with how to become a Freak of the Week, every Wednesday on our Instagram story, I post a little puzzle. If you've solved that puzzle, I'm going to send you a little freak badge to let you know that you got it right, and I'm going to add your name to our Wheel of Freaks. And then I spin that wheel 5 times every episode to pick 5 Freaks of the Week. And that's what these lucky people did and are. This was for the Planet Fitness Insta Egg, and our winners are a Burrito and a Barks, Donna Yorty, Liang Ang, Jamie Lauren, and Danielle H. So congratulations. Thanks for listening. Thanks for playing the game. And congratulations on being our Freaks of the Week. And if you don't check out our Instagram, check it out. Every week we add a bunch of new things to it. We add a poster for the show. We add supplemental materials so you can see if the founders are hot or not. And like I said, every Wednesday we do the Insta egg on our story. So be sure to follow that.
And while we're giving shout outs, I'd like to shout out a lovely listener who left us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. We have Sloth Friend, who says, "Such fun! I always look forward to learning and laughing along with these two delightful hosts. It's the perfect combination of thorough research, irreverent tangents, and the whimsy of close friendship. Thanks for making every week brighter. You're doing great work." Aww, so nice. Thank you, Sloth Friend.
We're doing great work.
If you haven't left us a review on Apple Podcasts, please do that. Boost morale, boost the show, boost our mood. Play John's Insta Egg game on Instagram at OnBrandThePod. Check us out on TikTok at OnBrandThePodcast. Watch us on YouTube. Instead of listening to the show, you can watch a video of the show. If you want another episode every week, every Tuesday we release Off Brand, which is a Patreon episode. More off topic, less on brand. Lots of fun over there.
We also have a Reddit that's run by Beardophile that posts fun little things about every episode we do. So be sure to check that out at On Brand Podcast on Reddit.
And with that, we'll be back next week with an all new episode.
And remember, we may go off topic, but we'll always be on brand.
Bye.
Goodbye.